Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I want to let everybody know, anybody who's a link to customer, they're going to be running a Super Bowl raffle, and I believe, don't quote me, but I believe it's to win 2 tickets to the Super Bowl next year. So, and it's going to be going for like the next, I think, 24 hours. So look for an email. If you're linked to a customer, they're going to be sending out an email on this thing. So keep your eyes peeled. It's going to come out sometime either I can't remember if it's going to be Sunday. Just keep your eyes open. Just want to let you know.
We feel that there's another shake of the tree before we go. I think we're very close to wanting to go. 2024 is going to be a very good year potentially for crypto and hopefully also for precious metals. Crypto needs to be designed to steal the precious metals money because they don't want lots of delocalized little guys with private stashes that essentially make you your own central bank at hyper valuations once they, maybe make gold $25,000 or whatever.
This is why I think they created Bitcoin. This is why I think they won't tell you who Satoshi is, even though they know who the 4 Satoshis are.
Currency will be in a year or two's time, and silver $1,500. They just re-rated the value of it. And China is certainly buying like gangbusters precious metals as well, and dumping treasuries, or certainly to some degree their treasury portfolio.
Great clip. Black Swan Capitalist has been knocking it out of the park. So is Meta Lawman, who is the man who helped me get back on the X platform. He's an attorney. He's a Vanderbilt law attorney. He was a securities lawyer. He was on with Thinking Crypto, and I've got 2 great clips. This man is so smart, and he's such a good guy. He's one of the good guys. Listen to what he says.
As we believe collectively in financial freedom of choice. I never promote a token or anything. All I do is the beginning of every year, at the beginning of January, I say, I am going to hold Bitcoin another year, and here are the 3 reasons I'm going to do that. And I do own other tokens, but I don't recommend anything to anybody. What I recommend is that we have a policy in the United States that we individually get to decide, rather than Elizabeth Warren decide, you know what, let's strike that one off the list of available investments and that one. And, somebody did money laundering of $70,000. Let's strike that one off as well. That, to me, is inconsistent with the Constitution and what this country's been all about. And so that's why people like you are really important to get the message out. We're really talking about financial freedom, because if you don't get to make your own decisions about what you're going to do with the money that you have earned, then you're really not quite as free as you might think you are. And I don't think the people in Washington, D.C. ought to make those decisions for us.
Now, this clip right here, you talking about a guy, he's talking about how this Ethereum thing is crazy. He outlined, this is a grand slam right here. Listen to what he says.
Possibly, but it's crazy. This Ethereum thing is so crazy. They went into court. Freddie Rispoli. He sued for a declaratory judgment, the SEC, saying, hey, he's saying I use Ethereum in my law practice and for various reasons. My clients use it. I need to know that I'm complying with the law. Again, Tony, it goes back to the Magna Carta. I'm entitled to know, is what I'm doing legal or illegal? And you know what? The SEC successfully moved to dismiss that case because they said, we have not yet decided whether we think Ethereum is a security or not, which is false because Bill Hinman decided, and got a lot of input from the other divisions when he said what he said. And so this was the year and a half ago, whenever. We haven't decided. Then Gary goes to Congress and is just cross-examined. Look, it's the second largest token. People need to know. You know, McHenry's saying, my constituents need to know what's legal, what's illegal. Is Ethereum, in your view, a security? And he would say, surely you'll understand that I can't address the status of any one token. And the response was, no, I don't understand that at all. I'm asking you on behalf of Americans who are entitled to know what's legal and what's illegal in the realm of securities laws. And you're saying you refuse to tell them? You'll tell them when you sue them? That's crazy. And then, I don't know, Tony, if this was a coincidence, but Letitia James in New York files a lawsuit against this exchange out of the Seychelles Islands, where she tasked an investigator in her office to try to open an account. And this exchange should not have been available to New York residents, but somehow this guy was able to open an account, and she told him what to do. And and they listed, I looked it up one time, over 200 tokens. She told him what to do. She told him, go buy Ethereum and then sell Ethereum. And then we're going to file a lawsuit saying Ethereum is a security. And so there is a state authority, an attorney general of an important state, saying Ethereum is a security. We've got an SEC chairman refusing to say whether it is or isn't. And then in court, the enforcement decision says we haven't decided yet. So it's ridiculous that we live in these circumstances, and it's not normal. It's not what I experienced, you know, when I was practicing law and dealing with the SEC. You know, they generally played it straight. And all of the lawyers that I hired from the SEC, and I have to emphasize this, I have tremendous respect for the SEC, Tony. The SEC is one of the key reasons that the capital markets of the United States have primacy all over the world, is because of the integrity and history of the SEC. And now, they won't tell us what's okay and what's not okay until they sue you. And it's not right, and it's not consistent with how that agency has operated honorably for decades, since 1934.
Yep. It's criminal what's going on, folks. This was from back in August of 2023, and this is this Bruce Fenton guy, and he lays it out in a great way too. About Gary.
I'm here in Washington, D.C. at the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission to call for the resignation of Chairman Gary Gensler. This is my industry. I've been in this industry my entire life. I grew up on the floor of a brokerage firm. I got my first job at 14 at a major Wall Street firm. I got licensed at age 19, and I've been licensed ever since for over 30 years with a flawless compliance record, working with broker-dealers and registered with the SEC. It is absolutely crucial that the United States markets maintain its place as a respected global market, free from fraud and bad actors. Mr. Gensler, your chairmanship and your behavior does not jive with those goals and does not help the United States markets. I'm calling on you to resign for many reasons. The ties with Sam Bankman-Fried and your agency overseeing the largest fraud since Bernie Madoff is reason alone for you to resign. Frankly, I was surprised that you lasted a couple weeks after this. You had extensive ties with the largest fraudster that we've seen in a generation. You gave him unprecedented access, the kind of meetings that no one else in our industry is able to get. You have ties with him, with his president, and his general counsel who used to work with you. You've never, as far as I know, given any transparency to why you did this. We all know the reason that you did it. It's because he stole client money and donated to your party. You're a partisan Democrat, and you served as campaign finance chair under Hillary Clinton and oversaw the payment for the Steele dossier. It's expected that you be partisan, but it's expected more than that you follow the Constitution. And you've abandoned your oath to the Constitution by allowing a fraudster like this to thrive because of your political ambitions. Your ambitions to be Treasury Secretary and your ambitions to work with people like Senator Warren to harm the industry far beyond your congressional mandate and your oath to the Constitution. Furthermore, your pushing of ESG and other hyper-partisan issues is far beyond the scope of what you should be doing as SEC chair.
I'll stop it there, but you get the gist of it. I mean, that guy was right on point. Now, these guys, I think they're Bitcoin guys, but they're with a group called the Breakfast Club. It's from March of 2021, but I don't remember if I saw this or not. But they're totally, it's like one of them's had an epiphany here and they get it now.
I don't think Bitcoin is.
That is right over the target. Now, check it out. Stuart Alderati must be hot this weekend. I think he's sending a message. He's retweeting Charles Gasparino's thing about bracing for a major exodus from senior lawyers at the SEC. He says, will any of these lawyers be brave enough to blow the whistle and share details about Gensler's controversial leadership with the SEC's Office of Inspector General or the House Committee on Oversight and Accountability? Another question is, when's Patrick McHenry going to get off his butt and subpoena Gary Gensler? Or subpoena some of these guys that are quitting? Why not? Now, we're going into DAIXRP.com, and when we do, what we're going to talk about, I saw a tweet that's like a quick summary of what many of you probably know about, but some of you don't. It was called the Shane Ellis theory. It was about how XRP could go to, I think, $500 relatively quickly, and how it would happen. So I'm going to show you that for those of you that haven't seen it, or those of you that wanted a refresher. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Here we go. Shane Ellis theory.